Find the standard form of the equation given the characteristics. The vertex is at 2, -1, so let's label the vertex 2, -1, and the focus is at 0, 1. So what we know about this is that the parabola looks something like this because the focus is in the middle of the parabola. What we have to determine the p-value. So what is the distance from here to there? So let's start with that, the distance. Well, what changes? Does my x values change? Yes, because my y's stay the same. So I'm going to take the terminal, which is 0, minus 2 of my x values. Therefore, my p-value is -2. And we know it's negative because it goes towards the negative direction. Since I have a horizontal parabola, I know my equation is y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h. Another way to look at it is the ones that are the same, the y values, that's my squared values. So let's start plugging in. Y and the opposite of y, so plus 1, squared, equals 4. My p-value is -2. X and the opposite of the x value. When I simplify this out, I get y plus 1 squared equals -8 times the quantity x minus 2. There's my equation. Also, if I want to find the directrix, the equation for the directrix is x equals h minus p. Well, remember our h value is this right here. So our h value is 2 minus p, which is -2. Therefore, x equals 4. Another way to figure that out is the distance from the vertex to the focus is 2 units. So I need to go 2 units in the opposite direction. And this line right here is x equals 4, which is the directrix. Let's try another problem that's similar. The vertex is at 3, -3. So let's graph and label. And the focus is at 3, -9/4. So the first thing I notice is I'm going in the positive direction, and my parabola is going to look something like that. So what do I know from that? Well, I know that it's x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. Well, now we have to figure out what that p-value is. Well, the p-value is the difference here. So I'm going to take -9/4, because that's the end, and subtract that -3. When I do that, I get a p-value of 3/4. So now let's plug in. X and the opposite of x equals 4. The p-value is 3/4. And y and the opposite of y. Let's simplify. X minus 3 squared equals 3 times the quantity y plus 3. And there's my equation. The directrix is y equals k minus p. Well, the k value, remember, is this value right here. So it's 3 minus 3/4. Let me restate that. Y is -3. So we're looking at this point right here, the y value of -3, and we're going to move it in this direction, 3/4, which is my p-value. So when I do this here, I get y equals -3.75 as my directrix. Last example. Let's draw what we know. The vertex is at 2, -1. and the directrix is at x equals 1. The first thing I'm going to find here is the p-value. And the p-value is the distance right here, and that's a distance of 1. So p equals 1, which means the focus would be 1 further in this direction. So my parabola will look something like this. So I know that direction, general form, is y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h. Well, let's just start plugging in what we know. Y and the opposite of y, which is plus 1, squared, equals 4. Our p-value is 1. X and the opposite of x, which is negative 2. So my solution here is y plus 1 squared equals 4 x minus 2.